The predator test was unbeatable until a human tried. Prologue: the unbreakable test. For centuries, the K-Wrath Dominion ruled the stars with teeth and shadow. They prided themselves not just on conquest, but on cruelty wrapped in ceremony. To break a species, they offered a ritual trial, the predator test. It was their masterpiece, an arena so merciless that no species had ever survived it. Entire delegations, enslaved races, even captured generals from rival empires had all been thrown into its shifting labyrinth of obsidian walls and living predators, creatures engineered to be nightmares given flesh. The K-Wrath watched and laughed as screams echoed, knowing survival was mathematically impossible. No record showed anyone ever leaving the labyrinth alive. So when humanity first brushed against the Dominion, the K-Wrath chose arrogance over caution. They destroyed a fragile human colony on New Thessaly. 80,000 civilians burned in glassed soil. The survivors' pleas were cut off mid-transmission, their cries archived as entertainment. Then, as a final insult, they offered humanity their test. One human was chosen. One human was sent into the labyrinth. The galaxy already mourned him. The mockery of the Dominion. The day the human entered, the K-Wrath Citadel was alive with vicious laughter. The predator's scales of living metal, eyes of burning plasma, jaws like black holes, prowled in anticipation. Alien dignitaries filled the galleries, sneering. The fragile ones will snap like reeds. They are children in metal shells, wielding fire they don't understand. They will not last a single cycle. Even the archivists of neutral worlds whispered, "This is not justice. This is execution." The Dominion broadcast the trial across the stars. Humanity was to be humiliated, paraded as prey before predators. The lesson was clear: resist the K-Wrath and extinction would follow. The silence before the storm. But Earth did not weep. When the transmission arrived showing their envoy's capture, humanity went quiet. No fiery threats, no desperate bargaining, just silence. That silence unnerved the galaxy more than screams ever could. Neighbors who knew Earth's history whispered reminders. This was a species that endured ice ages, wars that spanned continents, plagues that culled millions, and yet they adapted. The human entered the labyrinth, the K-Wrath laughed, and Earth watched. The first day in the labyrinth. The labyrinth shifted like a living beast, corridors folding, walls breathing, the ground itself sprouting spines. Predators moved in packs, coordinated, as though the labyrinth itself whispered commands to them. The human, Commander Elias Vera, carried no weapons but his body and his will. Cameras followed as the first predator lunged, a beast of obsidian and fire, jaws wide enough to cleave a shuttle. Elias didn't run. He sidestepped, stone calm, letting momentum betray the monster. Its head slammed against a pillar. He climbed its back, jammed a shard of broken obsidian into its eye, and rode it down as it collapsed. The galleries fell silent. The impossible had just happened. The first predator lay dead. Elias stood, chest heaving, blood on his face. He whispered, though the mics caught every word. "Predators bleed. That means predators can die." The Dominion stopped laughing. The weeks of defiance. Cycle after cycle, Elias survived. More predators fell not because he was stronger, but because he was clever. He learned their patterns. He turned the labyrinth against itself. He set traps from bone and sinew. The broadcasts, meant to humiliate, now spread terror. Species long enslaved by the Dominion began to chant. The human lives. The predators fall. The test bleeds. And behind that chant came something the Dominion had not faced in millennia: hope. Humanity breaks its silence. After the 12th cycle, the Dominion sent emissaries to Earth with threats of annihilation. They expected fear. They received only a message, broadcast across every open frequency, from the United Earth Council. You set the test. Our son walks it. If he falls, we come for you. If he survives, we still come. There will be no forgiveness, no treaty, only judgment. The galaxy froze. The words were not loud, but they carried the weight of a guillotine's fall. The final cycle. The labyrinth unleashed everything: 30 predators at once, shifting walls, collapsing floors. The air burned, the ground screamed. No one had survived half as long. Elias did not falter. Wounded, limping, he pressed forward. He set fires in the corridors. He drove predators into each other. He used their claws as weapons, their hides as shields. And at last, when the labyrinth opened its heart, the black throne of the Karath judges, Elias stumbled into the light. Broken, bleeding, alive. The galleries went silent. The test, for the first time in history, had been beaten. Elias looked up at the Karath warlords, his voice ragged but sharp as steel. Now it's our turn. Retaliation begins. The galaxy felt it, the silence breaking. Out of Saul's dark docks, dreadnoughts stirred. The Aegis, the horizon breaker, the hammer of dusk. Fleets rose from Earth's oceans, from the caverns of Mars, from the shipyards of Titan. The Dominion had mocked humanity's restraint. Now restraint was gone. Comms across the stars crackled with chilling warnings. Earth remembers. Stand clear of Dominion space. Judgment is inbound. Entire sectors went dark as human fleets jumped. Suns were blotted out by their numbers. The void echoed with the sound of engines older empires thought primitive, until they saw what those engines carried. The storm of retribution. The first strike fell on the Karath slave foundries of Urath Prime. Human drop pods screamed through the sky like meteors, smashing into the black forges. Soldiers emerged, armored like steel gods, their rifles spitting fire that tore through engineered predators as though they were paper. Orbital bombardments followed, precision fire so vast it looked like constellations dying. One world fell, then another, then 10 more. Karath fleets assembled, their warlords confident still in their predator-engineered warships, but human dreadnoughts tore through them. Lasers scythed. Railguns cracked hulls in half. Entire armadas vanished in silence, no survivors, no mercy. The galaxy watched the storm roll on and knew the Dominion was dying. The fall of the Dominion. At last, human fleets reached the Karath citadel itself, the same fortress where Elias had defied their test. The warlords attempted to bargain, to threaten, to roar of ancient glory. But Earth gave them no reply. The dreadnought hammer of dusk opened fire. The citadel shattered, its towers falling into the void like the bones of broken gods. And in that ruin, survivors whispered the same words across the stars. Never provoke Earth again. Aftermath, the infinite vengeance. The labyrinth still stands, but it is empty now, its predators starved, its walls crumbling. No one dares speak of it aloud. The Dominion is dust. Worlds they once ruled now breathe free. And across the galaxy, even empires untouched by war tread carefully, lowering their voices when speaking of humanity. Because they have seen what silence hides, they have seen what patience conceals. The predator test was unbeatable until a human tried. And when that human walked out alive, Earth rose in vengeance that burned across the stars. Now the galaxy knows humanity's patience is vast. but their vengeance is infinite.